Right? First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shah, Shem Rakah HaKodash, the bonus to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the brother doing his work in sincerity and the truth, the hope for elect. The brothers waiting every day patiently for Yahweh Shem Shah to return. So when we get out this place, peace and salutations to you, brothers, man. Just want to get into, this article I found, I read the headline. It says Iran oil. It says new field with 57 billion barrels found. Rouhani. So I read the caption under the picture. It says Mr. Rouhani made the announcement as he delivered a speech in the central city of Yazd. Okay, they said the new oil field has increased Iran's proven reserves by about a third. Has been discovered, President Hassan Rouhani has said. The field in the southern province of Kazakhstan, and the amount and about 2,400 square miles, which is about 926 square miles, in an area contained 53 billion barrels of crude. He said, Iran has been struggling to sell oil abroad because of tough U.S. sanctions. They are imposed after the U.S. pulled out of a nuclear deal with world powers last year. Okay? Now, just want to get, it says, skip down to the next paragraph. It says, we have found oil fields with 57 billion barrels of oil in place. 53 billion barrels. This is the big oil field that stretches 2,400 square kilometers from Bostan to Amayad. The oil layer has a depth of 80 millimeters, he says during a speech in the central city of Yazd. Now, this is the president speaking of Iran. Okay, it says Iran oil reserves will increase by 32 billion if extraction rates from the oil field increases only 1%. He added. Okay, I'm telling the U.S. I am telling the White House that in the days when you sanctioned the sale of Iranian oil, the country workers and engineers were able to discover 53 billion barrels of oil. He is quoted as saying by the semi-official Fars news agency. So he was speaking on, he said, while you gave us time, while you sanctioned us, we found 53 billion more barrels. So what that sound like? Okay. The new oil fields could become Iran's second largest field after the one containing 65 billion barrels in Havaz, says the AP news agency. Iran is one of the world's largest oil producers, with exports worth billions of dollars each year. Its existing proven reserves are of some 150 billion barrels, and Rouhani said, Mr. Haradi said, Salaki. Okay. It has the world's fourth biggest oil reserves and second largest gas reserves. It has the fourth biggest oil reserves and the second largest gas reserves, and shared a massive offshore field in the Persian Gulf with Qatar. U.S. President Donald Trump reinstated the sanction against Iran last year after abandoning the landmark 2015 nuclear deal between Iran and 6 world powers. Under the accord, Iran agreed to limit its sensitive nuclear activities and allow international inspectors in return for sanction relief. I mean, because when you give sanction, you sanction everything from medicine. I was watching this. If you see on the screen above it, I was watching just the video. Basically, you even down to meat, they sanction everything, so things can't get in there. And nobody want to deal with a country that has been sanctioned by the U.S. You know, the sanctions have led to a sharp downturn in Iran's economy, pushing the value of the currency to low records, quadrupling its annual inflation. So they're in inflation at this moment, driving away foreign investors and triggering protests, right? So through all this, I just want to put something together real quick. They struck Iran about 2 days ago, 2 or 3. Iraq with the leaders 2 or 3 days ago. Now we know for a fact that a lot of this stuff, they enter the Middle East because of what they really want is the oil reserves, or they go in to take the revenue, meaning the resources, Salaki, the resources. So this was done on November 10th. This is when he spoke about it. Now we already know that America and the elites of this nation, elites of the world, they want that oil, man. You know. So this is what that's what I believe is a lot of this stuff is about. Also, you know, you take out the head of the commander, you'll have no real resistance in a certain way, you know. But these guys are kind of resilient, you know, because this is the Arab world, you know. They're not all Elam. They're Elam and hell, they Elam, probably some Greek babies in there, and plus there some Ishmaelites in there, all rolled into one of the Iranians, man. Okay, let's go and get some scriptures. And this is why the nations are mad, you know. A lot of times these the so-called white man, Esau, the rest of the nations, but the Esau himself, he's in these lands for the resources, man. They don't go into these lands because the sanctions, there's something in that land that they want. So all of a sudden there's a battle. You know, 53 billion barrels is a lot of oil. You know, you don't think these nations know that Esau is trying to get their resources, man. They put sanctions on them, which basically limits things they can receive. You know, even all the way down to a regular phone and apps. You know, because a nation should be able to buy and sell the way it do. It wants to. All right. This is Isaiah 10:1. It says, "Woe to them that decree and write decrees, and the right grievous which they have prescribed." How do you prescribe something that the same thing you doing? You want to put sanctions on people, but you don't want no sanctions put on you. This is the devil doing, man. It says to turn aside the needy from judgment, man, and take away the right from the poor. You know, and that's what he's doing, man. Right? Okay. Nobody, you know. And you know, and that's what they're doing. So the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, you know, he's about to get this thing to popping, man. Right? You put a whole bunch of, you know, problems, unnecessary problems, man. This is gonna be the problem. This is gonna be the Most High is letting you do all this. All this wicked shit on earth, and the nation's not hearing it, man. You know, like in I think it's Ezra 9, man. He's talking about uproars of the people, and this is what's happening. You think the nation's food? They know what you're coming in for. They know you the great Satan. They say Satan, as they say. You know, they know this. You know. Okay. This is Isaiah 13:4. It says, "The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like of a great people, a tumultuous noise in the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts muster up the hosts of the battle," and that's why He's doing that, man. Because this devil is coming in this devil his sins reach heavens, man. And now it's time when Yahweh Shema Shai is about to give him hell, man. You're going into other lands because there's a resource that they want. The Lord is tired of that, and the nations are tired of you coming in there, man. That's why the nations are mad. They're gonna get together and burn it, man. They shall come from far, and the end of the earth, and for the ends of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of His indignation, to destroy the whole land. And what is that, man? Those nuclear missiles, man. Those nations are going to gather themselves together in one accord, man. You know? Verse 6 says, "How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand." The day of the Lord is soon, man. And it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. You know? Therefore, all hands, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, right? Right? Because those are the righteous decrees, man. So soon enough, you're going to have your day, Esau. Okay? The Most High ain't going to, the time is near where you're going to share a dirt hut with the rest of the nations. And they're going to be fucking y'all up. Right? Okay, so Most High is gonna come destroy this land, man. You can't keep messing with the rest of the nations. Let's go to verse 8. It says, "They shall be afraid, pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them, and they shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth, and they shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames," right? "Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, and lay the land desolate, and shall destroy the sinners thereof of it." So that's what Most High is going to do. So it's going to be a big old pity party. That's going to be done by who? The rest of the nations, through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. Right? Destruction is going to come against this place, man. You know, and the names, that's why the scriptures say that the nations are mad. And the wrath is come, man. Okay, so with that, we got all praises to Yahweh Shema Shai, Bashim Rakadash. Peace, salutation, shalom.